Welcome to TechSphere Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to tackle a question that's both exciting and a little unnerving.
Yeah.
What if AI could see everything?
It is a thought that kind of sends shivers down the spine, isn't it?
It does.
And not some far off, science fiction scenario, but 2024,
Right.
AI isn't just crunching numbers in the cloud anymore. It's woven into the fabric of our world.
Yeah.
Experiencing and analyzing it in ways we're only beginning to grasp.
Absolutely. We're all used to AI curating our social feeds.
Right.
Suggesting products. But what happens when it takes a leap further?
Yeah.
What if it starts to perceive and interpret the world around us, not just as data points, but as a complete picture full of nuance and meaning, just like we do?
That's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine standing on a bustling city street.
Okay.
Instead of just registering the presence of cars and pedestrians, this evolved AI is picking up on micro-expressions flitting across faces.
Wow.
Subtle shifts in body language.
Interesting.
Even the way your heart rate spikes when that taxi nearly jumps the curb.
Oh, God.
It's building a dynamic real-time understanding of the urban ecosystem, us included.
So it's not just about recognizing that I'm on a street corner,
Right.
but about understanding how I'm experiencing that street corner.
Exactly.
Am I stressed?
Yeah.
Am I lost?
Yeah.
Am I about to bump into someone because I'm glued to my phone?
Right.
It's kind of creepy when you think about it.
That's the thing. It's not just about public spaces.
Right.
Think about your own home, which is already filled with smart devices.
Yeah.
Now imagine those devices going beyond simply recording data.
Okay.
They're using it to construct a multifaceted understanding of you.
Oh, wow.
Your AI assistant isn't just tracking your sleep cycle.
Okay.
It's correlating it with your social interactions, your work deadlines, maybe even that fight you had with your partner last night.
Oh, my.
And then it recommends a specific movie that it believes will help you unwind based on all of that.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly your home feels less like a sanctuary and more like an observation lab.
Okay. I'll admit, the thought of my AI assistant knowing me that well is both fascinating and a little bit unsettling.
Yeah.
It's like having an invisible roommate who's always watching, analyzing, maybe even judging.
That's precisely the point where this technological evolution starts to raise profound questions about our relationship with AI.
Right.
If it can see not just our actions, but the emotions and motivations behind them, is it still just a tool?
Right.
Or is it becoming something more akin to a companion, a confidant, even a reflection of ourselves?
And how comfortable are we with that level of intimacy, especially with something that at the end of the day is still a machine driven by algorithms?
Yeah.
This is where things start to feel a little ethically murky, would you say?
Absolutely. Let's explore that a little further.
Okay.
Imagine a world where AI is so deeply embedded in our lives, our cars, our workplaces, our homes, that it's not just observing us, it's anticipating our actions and shaping our decisions.
Right.
On the one hand, this could lead to some incredible benefits.
Okay.
Imagine AI helping us overcome our weaknesses, manage our stress levels, even nudge us towards healthier habits.
That sounds great in theory.
Right.
But couldn't this easily slip into manipulation?
Sure.
What if the AI decides I'm not ambitious enough and starts subtly pushing me towards a career path I don't actually want?
Right.
What if it decides my relationship isn't healthy and starts sending subliminal messages to break up with my partner?
Right.
That feels like a pretty quick descent into a Black Mirror episode.
And that's where we hit the ethical crossroads.
Right.
Because who gets to decide what the best version of ourselves looks like?
Right.
Is it us with all our flaws and contradictions? Or is it the AI with its cold, calculated algorithms and potentially biased data sets?
Yeah.
These are questions we can't afford to ignore as this technology continues to evolve.
It seems like we're teetering on a very fine line between unlocking our potential and surrendering our autonomy to a system that claims to know us better than we know ourselves.
Right.
It's a heady mix of excitement and anxiety.
It is.
And I bet our listeners are feeling it too.
Absolutely. And that's exactly the kind of critical thinking we need to encourage, because the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's shaped by the choices we make today, the questions we ask, and the boundaries we set.
Before we move on, let me just pause here and address our listeners directly. Think about it. If AI could truly see everything, your actions, your emotions, even your unspoken thoughts,
right?
What would that feel like?
Yeah.
Would it feel liberating or would it feel intrusive?
Right.
Keep that question in mind.
Okay.
As we delve deeper into this fascinating and complex landscape.
And we'll be back right after this to explore just that.
Sounds good. Welcome back to TechSphere Podcast.
Yeah.
We've been painting a pretty intense picture of a world where AI can see everything. But let's pull back the curtain a bit.
Okay.
What does it actually mean for AI to see in this context?
It's not simply about cameras everywhere recording our every move.
Right.
It's about AI's ability to analyze and interpret that data on a much deeper level.
Okay.
Think about facial recognition, but instead of just matching faces to identities, it's reading the subtle twitches of your eyebrows that betray your true feelings, even if you're putting on a brave face.
So basically, it's like having a super-powered lie detector.
Yeah.
But instead of just spotting dishonesty, it's getting at the underlying emotions.
Right.
The hidden anxieties we might not even be aware of ourselves.
Exactly. Imagine receiving a notification from your AI assistant that says, your routine has been changing lately.
Okay.
I've noticed you haven't been going for your morning runs, and your sleep patterns are erratic. Is something bothering you?
Wow.
Now, that level of insight could be incredibly helpful.
Right.
It's like having a personal coach who's attuned to your every mood swing.
Yeah.
But it also raises questions about how much we're willing to reveal.
Right.
Even unintentionally.
It makes you wonder, could this kind of hyper-awareness actually help us understand ourselves better? Maybe even help us become better people.
There's a real potential for positive transformation here.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that notices you tend to procrastinate on important tasks instead of just sending reminders. It analyzes your work patterns, identifies your peak productivity times, and gently nudges you to tackle those tasks when you're most likely to succeed.
Okay.
It's like having a personalized productivity coach in your pocket.
That sounds pretty amazing, but let's be real.
Right.
There's a flip side to this coin.
Yeah.
What happens when this all-seeing AI falls into the wrong hands?
That's where things get a lot more concerning.
Right.
Imagine a world where marketers use this technology to micro-target our insecurities, crafting personalized ads that exploit our deepest fears and desires.
Oh, gosh.
Or even worse, what if authoritarian governments use this kind of AI for surveillance and social control?
Yeah.
It's not hard to imagine a scenario where every facial expression, every muttered complaint is analyzed and used to predict and suppress dissent.
It's a chilling thought.
It is.
And one that highlights the importance of ethical considerations in the development and deployment of this technology.
Right.
We can't just focus on the potential benefits.
Right.
Without acknowledging the very real risks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it seems like we're walking a tightrope here. On one side, we have the potential for incredible advancements in personalized medicine, mental health support, even self-discovery.
Sure.
But on the other side, we have the very real threat of manipulation, surveillance, and the erosion of our privacy and autonomy.
It all comes down to how we choose to use this technology.
Yeah.
Do we use it to empower individuals and create a more equitable society? Or do we allow it to be used to control and manipulate us? The choice is ultimately ours.
And those choices start with awareness.
Absolutely.
By understanding the potential benefits and risks of this all-seeing AI, we can start to have informed conversations about how to shape its development and ensure it's used ethically and responsibly.
Exactly. It's not about rejecting AI outright, but about demanding transparency, accountability, and a human-centered approach to its development.
Okay.
It's about ensuring that AI serves humanity, not the other way around.
So let's shift gears a bit and imagine what life might actually look like in a world where this all-seeing AI is fully integrated into our daily routines.
Okay.
Let's walk through a typical day, shall we?
Sure.
Imagine waking up to your AI assistant, gently suggesting a specific breathing exercise based on your sleep quality and current stress levels. It even adjusts the lighting in your room to mimic a sunrise, optimizing your circadian rhythm.
And as you go about your day, your AI is constantly learning and adapting to your needs.
Okay.
It notices you tend to get drowsy after lunch.
Okay.
So it proactively suggests a quick walk.
Right.
Or a stimulating podcast to keep you engaged.
Okay.
It even reminds you to pick up your dry cleaning on your way home.
Yeah.
Because it knows you'll need that suit for an important meeting tomorrow.
It sounds almost magical.
Yeah.
Like having a personal assistant who anticipates your every need before you even realize you have them.
But here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
Imagine the same AI noticing a pattern of behavior that you might not be consciously aware of.
Right.
Perhaps it observes that you tend to get anxious before social events.
Okay.
Or that you withdraw from conversations when certain topics come up.
And instead of just noting these patterns, it starts to offer gentle nudges, suggesting ways to manage your anxiety or providing you with resources to explore those sensitive topics.
Right.
It's like having a therapist who's always there, subtly guiding you towards self-improvement.
Exactly. And that's where the potential for truly personalized self-discovery comes in.
Yeah.
Imagine an AI that helps you unlock hidden talents.
Right.
Overcome long-standing fears, and ultimately become the best version of yourself.
It's a tantalizing prospect.
It is.
But it also raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
What if the AI's definition of the best version of ourselves doesn't align with our own values and aspirations?
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Who gets to define what better means?
Right.
And how do we ensure that this technology is used to empower individuals?
Right.
Rather than shaping them into some predetermined mold?
These are questions we'll need to grapple with as this technology continues to evolve.
Right.
But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer potential of this all-seeing AI.
Right.
If used thoughtfully and ethically, it could revolutionize our lives in ways we can barely imagine.
It could help us live healthier, more fulfilling lives, connect with each other on deeper levels, and create a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential.
It's an exciting vision.
It is.
But one that requires us to be vigilant and proactive.
Right.
We need to stay informed about the development of this technology.
Yeah.
Engage in open and honest conversations about its implications. And demand transparency and accountability from the companies and institutions shaping its future.
Because the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we're all creating together through our choices, our actions, and our voices.
And that brings us to the end of part 2 of our deep dive into the world of all-seeing AI.
All right.
Join us after the break as we explore the ethical considerations, the potential pitfalls, and the steps we can take to ensure a future where AI empowers us, not controls us. Stay tuned.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to TechSphere Podcast. For the final part of our deep dive into this world where AI sees everything.
Yeah.
We've explored the potential benefits and the possible pitfalls. But now let's bring this abstract idea down to earth and think about what it would actually feel like to live with this technology day in and day out.
It's a fascinating question, isn't it?
It is.
It's one thing to talk about AI analyzing data. But it's another thing entirely to imagine it woven into the very fabric of our lives, shaping our experiences in subtle and not so subtle ways.
Exactly. Let's get granular.
Okay.
Imagine you're getting ready for a big presentation at work.
All right.
Your AI assistant, sensing your nerves based on your heart rate and the tremor in your voice, starts playing calming music and adjusts the lighting in your home office to a soothing hue. Helpful, right?
Absolutely. But then it goes a step further. It analyzes your past presentations, identifies your most effective speaking patterns and body language, and offers real-time feedback, subtly guiding you towards a more confident and persuasive delivery.
Wow.
It's like having a world-class public speaking coach whispering in your ear. But it also makes you wonder, are you still the one giving the presentation? Or is it the AI pulling the strings?
It's a bit like that scene in Herv Row.
Oh, yeah.
Where the AI helps Joaquin Phoenix's character craft the perfect love letter. But then you're left wondering who really wrote it. Where does the human end of the machine begin?
And that's the crux of the issue. As AI becomes more adept at understanding and responding to our emotional states, the lines between helpful assistant and subtle manipulator become increasingly blurred. It's like walking a tightrope between convenience and control.
It makes you wonder how this all-seeing AI would impact our relationships with each other.
Yeah.
If my AI assistant is constantly analyzing my partner's mood swings and suggesting ways to optimize our communication, does that make us more connected?
Right.
Or does it create a barrier of artificial mediation?
That's a really important question.
It is.
And it brings us to the heart of what it means to be human. In a world where our every thought, feeling, and interaction is being observed and analyzed by a non-human intelligence.
Does it make us more self-aware?
Right.
More empathetic? Or does it make us more guarded?
Right.
More cautious about expressing our true selves for fear of judgment or manipulation?
It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
And it ultimately comes down to how we choose to integrate this technology into our lives. Do we allow it to dictate our choices?
Right.
To mold us into some idealized version of ourselves?
Right.
Or do we use it as a tool for self-discovery?
Okay.
A mirror that helps us understand our strengths and weaknesses, and ultimately to make more conscious decisions about how we want to live.
It's a challenge, for sure.
It is.
But it's also an opportunity to re-examine our values, to define what truly matters to us in a world where so much of our lives is mediated by technology.
Absolutely. We need to ask ourselves, what are the essential qualities of being human that we want to preserve? Even in a world where AI can see everything.
Right.
Is it our capacity for love and compassion?
Okay.
Our creativity and imagination?
Yeah.
Our ability to connect with each other on a deep emotional level?
These are questions that don't have easy answers.
No, they don't.
But they're questions we need to be asking ourselves, individually and collectively, as we navigate this uncharted territory.
And it's not just about the big philosophical questions. It's about the everyday choices we make. What data are we willing to share?
Yeah.
What level of control are we comfortable relinquishing?
Right.
What boundaries do we need to set to ensure that AI enhances our lives, not diminishes them?
This has been a deep dive indeed.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
From the technical capabilities of all-seeing AI to the profound ethical and philosophical questions it raises.
But the conversation doesn't end here.
Right.
It's a conversation that needs to continue in our home.
In our workplaces, in our communities.
We need to talk to each other.
Right.
To educate ourselves.
Yeah.
To engage with policymakers and technology developers and to demand a future where AI is developed and deployed ethically and responsibly and with a deep respect for human values.
Remember, the future of AI is not preordained.
Right.
It's a future we are all creating together. Let's make sure it's a future where technology empowers us, not enslaves us.
Right.
A future where human connection and empathy thrive.
Right.
Even in a world where AI can see everything.
Thanks for tuning in to TechSphere Podcast.
All right.
If you found this deep dive thought-provoking, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
Okay.
Let's keep this conversation going.